Hey guys, today I'd like to share with you some of the ways that I've been able to stay motivated through the pandemic. So this year has been so weird for us, especially as musicians. Our gigs getting canceled and just not being able to play with others the same way that we're used to. It's very weird and it's really easy to feel discouraged because our field is changing so much. So I just wanted to share some of kind of the mindsets that I've been having the last few months and kind of ways that I've been able to stay motivated and keep practicing and keep working as a musician. If you'd like to see a written version of this topic, I have a blog post that corresponds with this video on my blog, lifefromtheviola.com. It is always linked down in the description box below. Alright, let's get started. So one of the things that really just helped me through all of this was following the right people on social media. So I have a personal Instagram account and one that goes along with my YouTube and my blog and everything called Life from the Viola section. And on that one, I follow other musicians. I follow like practice accounts. I follow like yoga teachers and just other people that make me feel good about myself and have good, inspiring, kind of productive things to talk about. So on my personal, it's, like my friends and like small businesses that I like supporting, just kind of a mix of all of my interests. And then I can go to my other Instagram and it's kind of like a dedicated space for all of this music. So that has helped me. I don't know, if other people would really want to have two separate Instagrams, but it's worked really well for me. So just following those people that help keep you in the right mental space and just inspire you and can help you be a better person and a better musician, that can help a lot. Going along with that, watching inspiring videos can be helpful too. So even before the pandemic, if I was feeling kind of uninspired in my practice, I would look up really nice performance videos of the music that I was working on and just watch the professionals play it, and that would kind of inspire me. So you can do that, or there's a beauty YouTuber that I really love called Arna Elaine. She is also a professional musician and she has a lot of vlogs related to orchestra concerts and like solo concerts, chamber concerts, and get ready with me videos before concerts, and just watching those orchestra concert vlogs and hearing the orchestra warm up, those have been really helpful through this. Like, kind of weirdly enough, just hearing that sound again is really nice, and it makes me want to practice and get ready for when we can all do that again. So one thing I love to do when I am mostly just staying at home is to leave my instrument out, when it's safe to do so. So I just have mine out in my bedroom on a stand, and it's always there for whenever I'm ready to practice. So I find that leaving my instrument out and just having it there, I can see it and think, oh, yeah, I should practice now, and I want to. It's just eliminating a hurdle so that you don't have to think, oh, I have to unpack my case, get my viola out. I know it's not that much work, but that has helped me for many years. Just having my viola out, I can just pick it up and practice whenever I want to. Finding a sustainable practice routine can help you keep up on your practicing even when things outside are crazy and totally different. So a sustainable practice routine is a practice routine that really works for you and you can keep it up over an extended period of time. So for me, I kind of prefer practicing in the afternoons and evenings. I'm not a morning person at all, so mornings kind of don't exist for me. So I'll usually start practicing around 3 or maybe like 5 o'clock, and then finish my practice like around 9 is like the latest that I like to end, though sometimes I'll go a little later. But I find that afternoon and evening practice sessions work for me, and I like doing smaller sessions and kind of 30-minute breaks in between each small section. So I'll break that up. Maybe like I'll stretch, I'll do some warm-ups, then take a little bit of a break, like get a drink, get a snack. And then maybe I will work on some rep, something within that rep. I'll stop for a bit, maybe go on to some different rep, or maybe I'll go back to what I was working on but a different section. Just things like that. Splitting it up helps me stay focused. So working in smaller chunks will really, really help your focus. So that's kind of a mindset that I stand by, and that's what I use in my own practice. So if you haven't found a sustainable practice routine for you, put on your scientific goggles and start experimenting with your practice. Try practicing in different times of the day, in different locations if you have that luxury, just trying it in different rooms. Are there any rituals you have to do before you practice? Do you have to eat lunch first? Do you have to do it before lunch, after dinner, before, after a meal? I don't know. Do you have to like watch some kind of video to get yourself motivated? See if there are any ritual, routine kind of things that make you feel more excited to practice and therefore more motivated and more focused when you do practice. I always like to light a candle when I practice. I'm just obsessed with candles, so any excuse I can have to light a candle, I will use that excuse. But it's always nice if I get frustrated, I can just kind of look at it and it makes the room smell nice. Sometimes I'll just think if I practice, I'm gonna light my candle and I'm excited to light my candle, so therefore I'm excited to practice. Just kind of, you can come up with things like that. Something that gets you excited and then therefore gets you excited to practice. That can help your mindset too. So if you don't have any gigs lined up and you're not in school, you're not preparing for any performances, it can be really hard to practice if you don't know what to practice. So finding something that you're really excited to learn can really help motivate you. Whether that's classical or like a pop song, just playing around, doing anything on your instrument is great. This is a weird time and our productivity isn't what it was pre-COVID, and that's okay. Nothing is normal right now, and you've never gone through a pandemic before. Probably. So however you're reacting is totally valid, whether you're practicing a lot or you're practicing not at all. It's valid because we're in very strange times. But just picking up your instrument and playing anything is really, really great because you're still keeping up those playing abilities. So something that I struggle with is holding myself accountable to actually practice. When I'm in between semesters, if it's the summer or the winter, I have trouble practicing without that motivation of weekly lessons. So, during the semester when I have a lesson every week, I'm very motivated because I can have a goal for each lesson, think, okay, I want to work on like these 2 movements in my next lesson, so I'm going to really focus on those this week. Things like that. But then when I don't have a weekly lesson, I'm kind of left without any goals. So setting goals for yourself can help hold yourself accountable. Tell your friends about your goals, write them down, make like a chart that you can fill out and get really excited about. Something that helped me over the summer was kind of buddying up with another violist and meeting weekly. So we were both working on the Bartók Viola Concerto, and we would record what we worked on that week for each other, send it to each other, and then we'd give each other comments over Zoom and, just talk about the piece, talk about how our practicing was going, and it was just a nice weekly motivator for me in replacement of lessons. So if you have another musician friend, see if they'd be interested in, just talking once a week or sending recordings every once in a while, so you can just kind of buddy up and get motivated together. You can also join a practice room on Zoom. I know of a few people who have started those. I don't know if they're still going on, but you can always start your own with friends. Basically, people just meet over Zoom. They're muted, but your cameras are on, and you just practice with Zoom open so that you have that feeling of being around others who are practicing, and that can help motivate you. So it's kind of like a practice room feel, but you're not hearing anything, and you just have that kind of support system there, even if you can't hear them. You can also go to online classes and warm-up groups. There are a bunch of musicians out there offering really great classes and warm-up sessions, and that can create kind of a community for you. Along the same lines, I think that doing yoga or any other kind of stretching routine or exercise can be very, very helpful in keeping you motivated and just keeping your mental health nice and refreshed. So I like to go to yoga classes with the aligned musician and just getting my body moving. I hate exercise. Like I will not exercise at all, but I love doing yoga. I love stretching, and it just makes me feel really good about myself. So doing yoga has taught me a lot in the practice room too. So a lot of the mindsets that I have in the yoga classes and that the yoga teachers teach in their classes, they carry over to my practicing, and it's helped my practicing be more efficient and more healthy and loving. So, just trying to move your body a little bit, even if you hate exercising, just stretching before you practice or going to yoga classes, anything like that can help your mindset become more healthy. If you miss playing in ensembles, I totally feel you. I miss playing in string quartets and orchestras. It's so sad. So I do have a duo with my boyfriend. We're called the Ottava Bassa duo, 8VB duo for short. And since we live together, we are still working together and recording and doing coachings for school and everything. So I've been able to have kind of my chamber music fixed that way. But if you don't have the luxury of living with another musician and being able to play with them, I love to play with recordings when I miss ensembles. So whether that's a string quartet or an orchestral piece, I just love pulling up a recording, playing it on a speaker, and just playing along with it, whether I'm sight reading or if it's something that I've played before. It's just very satisfying and very fun, and it can be very inspiring. So again, if you live with other musicians and everyone's up for it, you can always just sight read some chamber music or just any kind of music at all. Just sight reading and playing together might really help you just feel inspired and happier again if you're missing those ensembles. So pre-COVID, I enjoyed playing in orchestra, but I hated learning orchestra excerpts. It was one of the most boring things to me, and I just dreaded preparing for like school orchestra auditions and just working on orchestra excerpts. It felt so boring to me. But I found that since COVID started and I haven't been able to play in an orchestra, learning those orchestra excerpts has actually been kind of satisfying for me because it's... Sorry, my cat just woke up from a nap, so if you hear some meows, that's just him. He really wants some cuddles, but you can't get them right now. Okay, where was I? So since COVID started and I haven't been able to play in a real orchestra, just learning these orchestra excerpts has been kind of satisfying for me, partly because I miss playing orchestral music and also because it gives me an excuse to play with a recording. So, you know, when I'm working on it, playing with a recording is very valuable for, you know, learning the different tempos and learning how your part fits in, but it's also a lot of fun, and that's something that I just like to do because I enjoy it. So if all of your gigs and all of your performances have been canceled, you can always try to make your own performance opportunities. So you can have concerts over Zoom, you can do like a live stream concert, you can record something and do a YouTube premiere. That's how I did my master's recital in the spring last year, and I'm going to probably do it the same way this year. You know, just come up with your own reasons, excuses, opportunities to perform. If you live with musicians, you can do kind of a chamber concert with them, or like a multi-person recital where you each play solo repertoire. Even if you don't live with them, you can each record a little something and then put it together in iMovie or whatever program you use and just create a recital together. You know, that's always cool, and so many people are drawn to the arts right now since it's a weird time. So many people would appreciate a concert. And if you're struggling to pay for tuition, or if you're struggling because your gigs have been canceled, you can always use these performances to raise money. So, you know, you can do a suggested donation if it's over Zoom. You know, if they donate money, they can have the Zoom link. You know, it's so sad that almost all of our performance opportunities have just gone away because of the situation. But, you know, try to be creative and see if there are any ways you can create your own performances, whether that's by yourself or with friends. And if you'd like, you can always donate your time and your music to nursing homes or hospitals. I'm sure they would love to hear live performances over Zoom or FaceTime, you know, over the internet, so that their patients can get some live music and some happiness in these very sad times. So I hope that my tips can be helpful for you. If you have anything that has helped you stay motivated through this pandemic, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it, and I'm sure everyone else would love some more ideas as well. I hope you all stay safe, and if you'd like to see more content like this, I post new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for watching!